You see where Faldo is?
I was lucky enough to take a lesson from one of the world's best golf coaches. So I hopped on a plane, headed to Florida, got chased by a hurricane, and met up with Tiger Woods' old coach, Sean Foley. But I didn't want this to be some YouTube kind of puff piece to camera. You know, I'm lucky enough to spend time with one of the best coaches in the world. So I've spent the last 227 days working on what Sean Foley has shown me. And I'm going to not only show you the live lesson with Sean, I'm also going to share with you my struggles and achievements and not achievements with this move. So I wanted to make sure I spent enough time working on his swing ideas and theories to actually test them. Like, as a coach, I want to learn from these people and deliver you the best information I can. Come on. Remember, if you like the information in this video, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button as well. Let me know you want more videos with some great coaches. If you want to find out more about ProSendr, use the link down below. Helps the channel out loads. Generate, I'm going to be quite consistent. Hitting targets, not a problem.
Okay. Yeah,
But,
of course.
Distance is my quest.
Okay. The intent.
Yeah. So like they're hitting target. It's going to be consistent. If anything as well, I may be slightly low on the face. I can hit irons.
I bet.
So looking at Sportsbox, which is something I've just started using, it's quite impressive actually what it can do for students. I've got a full video coming on Sportsbox. What are we seeing?
So what I see in your swing is when you get to this point is how this right shoulder starts to retract.
Yeah, 100%.
Of course. And look, I'm not saying that being able to be external and out of retraction, almost elevation, this goes from your ankle connected to your neck.
Yeah.
All right. So when you look at the whole fascial system, everything is literally connected.
Yeah.
So there's not always the solution to this isn't always, hey, Mark, I want you to do this. You know, if you were my tour player, I would have you go to a highly regarded physio.
Yeah.
We would probably sit down with Mark Bull, have him scan it.
Yeah.
I think in your case, you do all this stuff well, but if we can really try and feel like we're trying to get this right arm more into this position than there.
Yeah.
Okay. It'll probably net out to about there.
Yeah.
And then what I think that'll do is I've got to be able to be in that foot to continue to create that movement. So you'll probably grab there with a little more torque. Not that that's going to really change much of what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
And then from there, trying to teach you, in a sense, is how do I stay on the wall longer?
Because at that point, I'm coming quite close to myself, aren't I?
Yeah, and the problem is if I narrow that hand path, then as my arms come in closer to my center, I'm going to rotate faster.
Yeah.
So when I want to counter rotate, I'll be rotating. So that's going to throw off how we go through first, second, third, fourth, fifth gear. Yeah. Right?
So I'm going to go for more out with my trail arm on the way back.
We're gonna,
and the way down as well.
Oh yeah, 100. And sometimes that also takes it takes a good amount of strength in the pec.
Yeah.
And then with the left side is the left lat, right? So being able to almost feel like we're
out.
And we're not gonna lose. The shape doesn't need to change.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think what's gonna happen is you'll notice that when we do it, it'll end up getting slightly deeper.
Yeah.
Deep is a consequence.
Yeah.
Deep is not on purpose.
Yeah.
Okay?
So it's a product of. So basically what you're saying is you kind of want me more kind of here. Is that what we're saying?
Okay. Now, this would be the idea. Now, I would probably want you also a little bit here, so put a bit of twist in it.
Yeah. So in effect, flattening off lead wrist is that feeling for me.
Doesn't need to be crazy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But we definitely want to have more extension here.
Yeah.
Because if I get this way too much, then I'm going to get radial.
To do that. Yeah.
Now, how are you going to get distance in the backswing?
Yeah. Okay, I like that. So we're thinking more basically that way.
There, and then just the rehearsal that you just did, I like to tell my viewers to get where, and then show me starting down. You showed how you went ulnar while you were flexed.
Yeah.
Just show me that, what that would look like.
As in on the way down?
Yeah.
So what, you would want me more this way?
Okay, so, well, 100%, right?
Yeah.
Now do it again.
Opposed to any of, like, trying to hold on, basically.
Yeah, of course. Because remember, if we don't start to release the club, the energy we hold on to, it's not going to go out, it's got to come in.
Yeah.
And that's that.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like a bad open.
Yeah.
Okay, so set up for me. Okay, so take it to the top. There you go. Now from here, I would want to see that if I stood here, you'd be able to do all of that without hitting my chest.
Yeah. So there.
So do you feel that now?
Yeah.
And that oblique that doesn't work?
Yeah.
Okay, so I would have this here, and then I would want you to feel like you're reaching for me with both hands as you start down.
Yeah.
Do you feel that?
Yeah, I mean, that feels like over there.
Perfect, right? So go to the top where you normally are.
Normally, so it would be more like this.
Normal crossfield.
Yeah.
Okay, now feel where your feet are, feel where your weight is, feel where all that is, right? Okay, now do your normal start down is how you would think about that.
Yeah, well, I would be more there.
Okay? All right, so from here now, I don't really feel like you can pour on more speed.
Yeah. I need to start getting things out.
Correct, right? Correct. It's nice to do
Which
this
isn't
with
gonna
someone
be-
who actually can speak like that.
Yeah.
Okay, keep on this channel, folks.
Yeah.
All right, so set up again, up to the top. Okay, so I want the hand path working down inside of this as you reach for me with your hands.
Yeah.
Okay, so now where do you feel?
Well, I feel more back to target. I feel kind of still back in this foot at the moment. I feel hands back and stretched like way back there.
Okay, so from here now, you could really, really be aggressive with how you attack the ball.
I feel like that.
But that's it though. It's the release.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, over the years in golf, the word release is like a bad word.
Yeah,
and then we
yeah.
hear a commentator say that the face is stable. The face isn't stable on a 10-foot putt. If the face is stable, that means it's not moving.
It's a problem, yeah.
Right? It doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So when we said earlier, I would like to increase the stretch phase. I would like to increase the counter rotation phase. And then as you said, from here, mate, I feel like I can really go. Then we'll increase the extension phase, but the right way.
Yeah. I have been close to this feeling before.
I bet.
Actually. And it was after reviewing the ProSendr, and I had a gears session with the guys I work with at JD Golf Academy, and they were I was 120 degrees bend with this
Yeah.
arm, and they were like, let's get that under 100.
Yes.
And the quickest way I found out of getting it under 100 was to add that.
Yes.
Because I worked out pretty quickly that I'm doing that because I don't do that.
Yeah. You can.
So I'm just sacrificing one movement for the other to try and get a visual
Of course.
appearance at the top kind of thing.
And then the only thing I would add to it is I would put this here, and so it would want you to do everything, and not so much getting it inside of it, it's just not hitting it.
Yeah, because I can just pick that club up sometimes because I kind of can't be bothered with it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I just kind of like, let's just get.
And I can just imagine.
I can't be arsed with
I can
that.
just imagine young Mark taking lessons at the local club, right? Yep, you got it. And just be uncomfortable and let it be.
Yeah. That feels very different. So, if we use the sender because the ProSendr, because I know this does trigger this feeling because I've done it before. When I reviewed it, it was one of the standout things was like, wow, that is like quite a different feeling to where I want to get.
Yeah, of course. So let's go here.
Yeah, I mean so I want to be like there, which isn't a huge gap.
No, well, you're a good player.
But
but the thing is, you're a good player.
And you're telling me this is average.
Average.
So there are people who are less than that, but they're better than me, so they've got the right to do that. Or they're 6'4" and can call.
So now do that. So take it to the top again. Where you said you felt it.
So where I want
where you just go.
Yeah. So I'm a bit more like there.
Okay, right. So as that comes down, that's going to be there.
Yeah, standing up.
And then there's the rest. That's why I think you get it a little thin.
Yeah.
Okay, which is a good problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where if I'm back there.
Back there now. Let's see less right elbow bend.
Yeah.
See, because then that really pushes into it.
Oh, it does.
So imagine from here, mate, like Rom, Hovland, DJ, these guys, that would be, if you put the sender up to the camera, if we built that, it would be built
more back.
right? And
Yeah.
so
because they would be, this is average, they would be at the upper limits of average.
so some of the best ball strikers of all time are the most in extension.
Yeah.
So that's why we built it at this, is because we think that, you know, in using a lot of amateurs in our testing,
Yeah.
that was a challenge for them to get there. And we want it to be a challenge because with the more challenges, the feedback, when someone says, oh, that much,
Yeah.
I was going here. So when you showed me you there,
Yeah.
they're like that.
Yeah, oh yeah,
You,
yeah.
and I don't care who you are,
Yeah.
you can't play from there.
Yeah. So
Right.
what we're saying, like amateurs are more here. So like you guys, the girls watching, kind of more here and back here. I'm like slightly out of it, but what Sean's saying there is like, this is the medium of tour average, remember. So again, so version 0.3, I want to be able to click it to different angles.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you've told me that's the medium now, I want it to be the max, because I'm an overdoer.
Well, that's cool.
Does that make sense? So if you give me a task, like I'm learning to play the piano, I love it, and my family hate it, because I just am like, can you stop playing that over and over again? I just need to just keep, I'm going to get this.
And did you feel you sounded like the Beatles that you love
Oh
so
yeah,
much?
absolutely. Better.
I've been swimming for a few months, and I videoed myself the other day, and I'm not even close to what
you think you look like.
Yeah, I thought I was like a midget Michael Phelps. I look like a drowning guy at the Dominican pool bar.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
There you go. So now get this right arm. There you go. See, so you can see how a lot of these guys would be here. Now let that relax.
Yeah.
Now push that right arm away. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why we'll see flexion there.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. Like that feels.
Yep, give it time. Give it time. Nice. And normally in this process, because your brain, like, when we think of tempo is evaluation of time, right?
Yeah.
So when I do this with people, because the distance is changing, finding impact consistently could take 10 to 12 balls.
Yeah.
But the brain is adaptive and really incredible at that.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna level up now with that, and this, when I bring this out, my guys normally wince. They don't even want to see it. Okay, so set up. Lydia Ko has the record, okay, of, with just a Nerf ball in here, hit 51 shots as I would move the ball back into place without it ever coming out. And it probably would have taken us a cumulative 30 seconds to pick those balls up.
Yeah.
Those, and that's just movement craziness. There you go. Okay, can you feel that?
Yeah.
All right, so what you
Well, that certainly feels better, or more on what you were saying
Together.
with that noodle at the
Yes.
start here. Like
Yes.
almost not having to think about that now.
Exactly.
Like it's triggering the feeling for me.
Yes.
And all I'm trying to do is then, what is that feeling? How can I do? Because where I love training aids, I hate them as well, because all I'm
Sure.
trying to do is think, how quickly can I get this off me?
Sure.
So what feeling is it giving me that I can hang on to not have to have it on me, because I can't play with it on and I want to play. So
Yeah, of course.
how quick can I recall that feeling?
Yeah. So as you know your swing very well, right? So you'll be able to see the shifts a little quicker.
Yeah. That's so different there.
Okay, so the good part is the good parts are just better.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, look where the head is and the face is.
Yes.
Normally I'm crossing over more at that point.
Which is probably just due to the breakdown, the
Yeah,
wrist
of
angles,
course it
and then
is.
the retraction.
Of course it is.
Right? And then I really like how all this right side looks.
Yeah.
Okay? So as we went from there and came down, we're still going to see some of the same things, but that's the counter rotation I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay? So I look at it as seeing one leg. Do you see that point there?
Yeah.
So you see by the time I can see one leg? In Cameron Champ's case, his hands have only moved that far when you can see one leg.
Wow, yeah.
It's unteachable.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm still trying to teach him how to hit 120 yards. That's actually more the challenge. Now, see how the ball, if I zoom in here,
Yeah.
you see how the ball's out?
Yeah.
So we would need slight more flexion.
Yeah, that's me.
And more peck.
Yeah.
Okay? So, you know, Cam always says is, can you make the ball less flexy?
Right.
Because he literally bends it in transition.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
But once again, like I said, nothing I taught him. He's just a...
Yeah.
So see how the center of mass is going to stay behind you a little bit longer?
Yeah.
And so you knowing your own swing, when you come through here, you're still in that left foot. And then what I see through there is...
reaction.
It is definitely you stay slightly better in side bend.
Yeah. So basically, again, where the ball works really well for me is if I was to go that way lots, that ball's not coming out, is it?
Yeah, you feel that.
So if I go that way, is what I'm saying there.
Okay, so show
where
me
if
again.
I do, it comes out because I want to go that way.
Okay, so now facing the camera, let's point that out.
So
Okay,
if I exaggerate it, if I do that and pull down, then the ball's just not even anywhere near. Where if I was to get more into the ProSendr, I'm crushing the ball, yeah. And I'm never done that.
Yeah, and I think that is when you watch a guy who hit the ball. Now do it, but see if you can do that way. So keep that. You can you not?
Yeah, that was it, wasn't it?
Yeah. See that would be more of what I would want you to
rather
do.
than
all this
like this.
All this external stuff that we see where people like stay in external rotation all the way down.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's just not really doable.
Yeah. Yeah, that is good.
Just keep focusing on to the top. That was lovely.
Yeah, that I can feel that.
Yeah, do that again. That's actually really
feel
sick.
that.
That was really sick. So how we could make it simple, I would say, hey, you know what? I want you to put the pressure on it.
Yeah.
Keep it in transition and hit push draws.
Yeah.
Because I like to use shot shapes
Yeah.
to not over.
Totally.
Because I know where you're going to come from there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You're going to end up being
Going that
in
way
counter
with the
rotation even longer.
Yeah.
Look, every great player I've ever met, their trauma comes from a snap hook.
Yeah.
Which means they came too much from the inside.
Yeah.
So I like to get people there.
Yeah.
Before we start
calming them down almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean that is so different.
Okay. I really like this, okay?
Spending time with Sean was a pleasure. I've been lucky enough to chat with Sean on and off over years, but to actually sit down, spend time, talk about Tiger, talk about my golf swing, other golf swings, his ideas around coaching was just fantastic. So I got home and started making swings using my ProSendr. I used it every given minute, making coffees in the garden, practice swings without clubs. I just used it. I had it on my desk whenever I could to really try and work that feel, which felt so different, into my golf swing.
So here are some of the triggers I've used to try and feel these ideas. So number one, and this one feels crazy, I have to feel like I am bending my wrist back to almost hit that wall with the club. So to me, it feels like I'm doing this with the club. I'm not, because obviously I have been less trail wrist, more bend of the arm, bigger turn, which is why you see me long and across. Where for me, when I make this movement, bending that wrist, I have to feel like I'm literally bending it the opposite way to the way I want to bend it. And that does feel mighty tough. Right arm opens up this way and stretched out this way. To me, I throw with my right hand. So I'm all mixed up. I'm left-handed, but I throw with my right hand, and I had a decent arm on me throwing that I could play outfield cricket and throw the ball back quite a different distance, and that's really opening up the shoulder. I've always been very left arm dominant in my swing, feeling everything's controlled through my left, trying to feel like it's through my right. Wowzers, like that totally started to feel like I was unlocking a whole limb that I hadn't really ever played with, like this extra limb involved with more stretch. Speeds went up. The irons felt super easy. Like the irons felt like it just made complete sense. The wrist move, the opening up the shoulder, it just all happened really quite quickly. It made total sense. It felt good, it felt stronger, it felt more powerful. I instantly started getting stronger 8 irons in my garden practice. But the driver's a different story. This one felt so tough and still is a battle. Because as I try to swing this with more pace, it's obviously longer as well. I just feel so safe burying my arms behind me. Leaving it out here feels like I haven't made a backswing. It just feels so short and mistimed. And it absolutely is and was by far the biggest battle. Opening up the right arm made sense, putting the right wrist in didn't. I wanted to keep that out, and then basically when I get to the top I would have this collapse. So I feel like my arms opened up. But when I look back on video and as I measure, I could see it just buries at the end. I don't feel that bit. I feel opening up, and then the kind of my instinct to hit the ball kicks in and everything just kind of woohoo buries behind me. And that's no surprise. Driver's often the biggest battle for most people. Oh yes.
Then around the 180th day,
I started to hit my fastest ball speeds. And I started to do it in a way that felt really quite short, but at the same time, quite quick. So I really started to feel like I actually had a bit of control. I do get the toey draws, that's definitely in there, but I actually feel like I've got more stretch out here, but way shorter swing, but the speeds were looking great.
so let's show you the measured facts. I went to see the guys at JD Golf Academy to use their gear system to measure the change. So if we move up to the top, you can see the blue here is the new and the greeny yellow here is the old. If we put a number on that, that's huge, like just huge. 128 degrees right elbow flexion compared to now. I've kind of float between 80 and 72, between 70 and 80. Like, that is a huge change, but it plays out in other ways as well. Remember, Sean was saying, not only do I want to get that width on the way back, I need to get it on the way down. So was that triggering more width on the way down as well? So this is the hand path of the two movements. You can see the yellow to the blue being the new one. This is tracking the hand path. Now, do we see more width? Well, if we overlay these two, we absolutely do see more width. You can see the blue is further away, not only on the way back, which is clear from that trail elbow difference, but also on the way down as well. You can really see that the blue is basically, so this is my backswing trace to my old yellow, and this is the downswing trace with the blue compared to the old yellow. And you can see my centered body position is really much different at all. It's not that I've swayed over. I am literally, I mean, I've changed it. This device has helped me, with the expertise of Sean Foley, completely change everything in my golf swing.
Hope you enjoyed my journey. If you want to find out how I moved my speeds initially, big, huge bump, check this video out. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as my journey continues. Thanks to one of the best coaches in the world. Oh, yes. Get on. Line ball. Go on the line. Get on that line. Oh, come on.